The first part of this lab has to do with the naming of muscles. Muscles are named like 6 different ways. Location, which means where we find the muscle, oftentimes is connected to its name. The direction of the muscle fibers, and the origin or attachment of the muscle. Origin just refers to where the muscles attach and anchor. So look at this list for location. You might recognize some of these body regions and maybe even bones, like frontalis. Right here in the front, it's a muscle. The IS at the end indicates that. Temporalis, right here on the temporal bone. Biceps femoris is in the femoral region, whereas biceps brachii is in the brachial region. So these muscles have names that are associated with their location. Now, often, in order to distinguish some muscles, we'll get a location is going to be part of the naming, and then maybe some other feature of the muscle. The direction, rectus means straight up and down, transverse means straight across, and oblique means at an angle. Origin is where the muscles attach. Sometimes it has to do with the number of attachments, like biceps brachii means 2, triceps brachii means 3. Sternocleidomastoid means it's connected at the sternum and the mastoid process. Sternohyoid means it's connected from the sternum to the hyoid bone. Let's look at a few other ways that muscles can be named. One way is size, large compared to small, medium. Vastus is a word that means large, like vast. The ocean is vast. Whereas lateralis has to do with the location. It's on the lateral side of the body. Maximus means maximum, very large. Major means larger than minor, which means small. Brevis means short, like brevity or brief. Longus means long. Magnus means large. Sometimes muscles are named based on their actions, like levator means to elevate. So we elevate, for example, our shoulders, or depressor, to push down, to depress. Like we might depress our expression. Flexor means to narrow that joint angle and flex it. Extensor means to extend that joint angle. And then some muscles are based on their shape, like deltoid has to do with the Greek letter delta that's in a triangle shape. Or trapezius is in a trapezoid shape. Or serratus is in a serrated shape, like a kitchen knife. So the origin is where the muscle attaches and anchors. So when the muscle contracts, it's going to move. But the origin is typically the part of the muscle that moves less. That's the anchor point. The insertion is going to pull on some bone to move it toward the origin. That's typically how origin and insertion work. When you contract a muscle or you move a major joint, the prime mover is the main muscle of force. In this case, when you flex your upper arm, the prime mover is the biceps brachii. Biceps because it's attached to right here. Brachial region, that's what gives us its name. It's the prime mover. But that's not the only muscle involved. There's also synergistic muscles, which assist the prime mover. And that's going to help get that muscle in alignment and help transfer that force. And then we have the antagonist. So just like in literature, there's a protagonist and an antagonist, and the antagonist does the opposite. So the opposite of the prime mover would be curl the arm, then we need to extend the arm. And in that case, the triceps brachii extends the arm. A fixator stabilizes a joint. So those are going to be typically smaller muscles that stabilize the joint in order for the prime mover to do most of its work. So that's some ways that the muscles are named and some of the key terms when understanding muscles and what they do.